Thank you so much again, guys, for joining to this information session. So my name is Mohammed Riyad. I'm the program education program specialist for the EnvironMentors program. So today we're gonna go over certain things about our program. So before I go, let me share a slide that we prepare. So the first thing, it would be great if you guys kind of like share a little bit about yourself, like your name, the college and department affiliation, your area of research, and then there's a icebreaker question like I admire people who with a blank there could never another blank. So yeah, I would start with Dr. Natasha. Dr. Natasha, would you mind please share a little bit about you?
Sure. So my name is Natasha Miles. I'm in the Department of Meteorology and Atmospheric Science. I'm an associate research professor. I'm originally from Indianapolis and currently do research on urban greenhouse gas emissions and emissions from oil and natural gas. And we've also looked at natural landscapes as well. Our group has 4 different projects that we're planning. And some of those are going to look at air quality and some at greenhouse gases. Ooh, let's see. Whoops, I got a phone call, sorry. I admire people who, I think climbing, I've seen some people I know lately have been getting into like climbing over like climb Mount Nittany, and that just looks super hard. So I admire that.
Okay, perfect. Yes, so yeah, someone else please wanna jump in. Okay.
Unknown caller.
Okay, how about Dr. Eugene? Are you there?
I'm here, yeah.
Yeah.
So Eugene Clodio, I'm also in meteorology and atmospheric science. Clodio is a Cajun French name. It's the only one in the world. My dad got it by accident. And my mom is from the Pittsburgh area. He's from Southern Louisiana. So I kind of work in radiation. So it can be climate, energy budgets, remote sensing satellites from the ground. The people who I actually admire are my colleagues who just want to who really kind of get me wanting to do a better job so I could try to keep up with them. And so that's I think that's true. I could never, that's a tough one. Never, I have to think about that one.
Okay. How about Dr. Desu? Am I pronouncing the name correct?
Yes.
Thank you.
So good afternoon, everyone. I am a new faculty in the Department of Mechanical Engineering here at Penn State, Harrisburg. And so my name is Dasu Nagasu, assistant professor. My area of research interest is mainly concentrated solar power, renewable energy in general. We focus on solar energy, and also the dissociation of carbon dioxide using plasma technology, and perhaps also solar energy. So people that I admire really actually are people that lead by example through their perseverance and tenacity. So really especially if you relate that to sport, those who really run marathons or those kind of things. I like them.
Thank you, sir. Perfect. Dr. Jeremy, you want to tell us about yourself?
Okay, hi.
Hello, sir.
Sorry, I was finding my microphone there. Okay, yeah, my name is Jeremy Gernand. I am an associate professor, and I work in the area of environmental health and safety engineering. So the ways that technology can reduce people's exposure and risks, and also the ways that it contributes to increasing it. Let's see, what else? I am, oh, the admire question. I think at the moment, I most admire people who can focus on some long and difficult to achieve a goal and maintain effort towards that, even when all these other things get in the way.
Perfect. Thank you, sir. Dr. Martin, you want to tell us about yourself, please?
Yes. Hi, everyone. My name is Martin Nieto, and I am an associate teaching professor at the nuclear engineering department. Currently, I am involved in a college-wide effort aimed at exploring the insertion of excuse me, of modular nuclear reactors for process heat application in industries that are intensive energy users like cement, steel, petrochemical, and glass. And I admire people who can overcome adversity.
Perfect. Thank you, sir. Dr. Rick, you want to tell us about yourself as well?
Yeah, thank you. My name is Rick Ciosi. I'm an associate professor of mechanical engineering at the Harrisburg campus. My colleague Dasu just introduced himself. He and I are at the opposite ends of a career at Penn State. I am from northern New Jersey originally. My areas of research currently, I'm getting more into the renewable energies as applied to smart homes, and the look at energy of how to control that from inside and what the effect is then on the outside. And I admire people who I admire my children. They deal with my grandchildren, and I can't do that. Something that I'm physically unable to do. So I'm glad I have my children to do it for me.
Perfect. Thank you, sir. Dr. Rokaya, would you please tell us about yourself as well?
Hello, everyone. I am Rokaya Ibrahim. I'm a new faculty in the Department of Mathematics. I'm an assistant professor of mathematics. I am from Nigeria, but I went to school in Illinois. And my research area is multi-dimensional and multivariate time series, specifically space-time time series and dimensional reduction in these areas and algorithm development. And I would probably mirror what my colleagues said. I admire people who fail and keep on trying. And being from Africa, I admire people who realize, I don't know, they don't know that they are changing the world. So what they keep on trying and doing good things in small communities, and they face so many adversities, and they are persistent. And I could never hate, and I could never bungee jump. Thank you. Nice to be here.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rukaya. Dr. Nathaniel, would you mind telling us about yourself as well?
Sure. So Nathaniel Warner, I'm an associate professor in civil and environmental engineering. I'm originally from Pennsylvania, northeastern corner, very rural area. I work on water quality, a lot with salinity and salinization, but also with some emerging contaminants, such as microplastics or PFAs. I admire people who can really put together a whole bunch of different voices and kind of make it sound like one voice, and very collaborative, I guess, and willing to listen to everybody to make that collaboration occur. What could I never do? I don't think I could ever jump out of a plane. I'm a little terrified of heights. That would be tough for me.
Okay, thank you so much. So I believe we have everyone's introduction in here. So I will now invite my colleague, Lorraine Jones. Lorraine, would you introduce yourself and also tell us about the program, some brief description about the program, please?
Sure. Hello, welcome everyone. Thank you for being here today. I'm just going to give you a little overview of the program and talk about what EnvironMentors is, and then we'll go over the agenda for the timeline for the year. We'll go over some of the upcoming events, as well as some of the requirements for the program. And some of the highlights that we've had with working with some of the most gifted and talented students in the area. So I'll start with what is EnvironMentors. EnvironMentors is a national science education and college access program that was created in 1982, and it's actually managed by Global Council of Science and Environment. So we call it GCSE. GCSE's mission is to mentor and engage underrepresented students, provide college access, mentorship, as well as providing the students with stewardship. And so we want the students to be good stewards of their earth and provide them with hands-on research experience. So you can see the different logos of the different colleges that GCSE is a part of, and we have 10 chapters across the globe. And so in terms of the goals for Penn State EnvironMentors, we are changing the narrative of underrepresented youth in STEM. And that's our vision for the program. Our vision for the program is not only to have it at University Park, but to actually branch out and go to the other, have programs within the other branch campuses that we have throughout the state of Pennsylvania. And with that in mind, we want to be able to have a global impact in the STEM and changing the narratives of people that have not necessarily been at the table for STEM. And in order to do that, we need a great team. And so we have here online with us today some of our team members. They're going to tell you a little bit about themselves and how they get involved with the program and some of the demographics of areas that they're in and the students that they work with. We'll start with Dr. Jenkins.
Hello, everyone. By the way, I think Brandon just joined, so he's someone that should introduce himself at some point. And this is going into the 4th year or 5th year of EnvironMentors. I helped I founded the chapter back in 2017, and Chris and the rest of the team has been working closely with us. We have deployed the program at PSH and also Penn State Shenango, and we hope to continue to reach other campuses. They will talk about the model. We have had challenges with the pandemic, I would say that, but we've still been able to run the program, and mainly with the support of the mentors and the Institute for Energy and the Environment. And can I say that the people I admire are the ones who can use Penn State software, and I do not still know how to use Simba. So Mo, I'll pass it back to you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Greg. Dr. Kathy, would you please introduce yourself as well?
Hi, I'm Kathy Schaefer. I'm an associate teaching professor of chemistry in the science department at Penn State Shenango. And, Penn State Shenango's involvement is exactly this model that Lorraine was talking about. So of spreading the EnvironMentors program to the across the Commonwealth to the various campuses. So, we are on any given day the smallest Penn State campus. And my interests are in green chemistry and incorporating green chemistry into the undergraduate teaching labs. I had a student work on a microplastics in the Shenango River over the last year. And another project I'm interested in with other colleagues on campus is the role of student engagement and retention. We're seeing students come off the last 2 years and a lot of students having mental health issues and not feeling connected to campus. And so we're actually doing a study on campus of how different facets of student engagement, not unlike having students play that role of a mentor in the EnvironMentors program, could help them become engaged and therefore help them feel more part of and retain them, not only on campus, but also in the STEM disciplines. So I'm very happy to be a part of this program. And probably pass it over to my colleague Mitch, who's at the Harrisburg campus.
Thank you. Thank you, Kathy. Yes, my name is Mitch Spear. I've been involved in the program now. I guess this will be the 3rd year. Last year was a bit of a challenge, absolutely. And I'm the lab manager. I started off in civil and environmental engineering and now support the laboratories and the faculty's research in biology, chemistry, and the sciences. So again, that's where I begin, and that's hopefully continue to provide support to this area in the Harrisburg area for the EnvironMentors at the Penn State Harrisburg campus.
Thank you, Mitch. I will get back to Lorraine to continue giving us the details about the program. Lorraine.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Rayed. So what we use is the Penn State model is a closed triad. And what that means is that the faculty is also a mentor to the undergraduate as well as the high school student. And they all have a relationship with one another. And so having such a model really builds in terms of when we're talking about working with underrepresented students to have the type of support that they need in order to be successful in the program. And so when we talk about this model, this triad model, and students being able to be successful in the program, we know from the research that there is not a lot of role models in the STEM fields for underrepresented students. So we tried to use that triad model to have people, underrepresented students, undergraduate underrepresented students, to be that role model that is near their peer, near their age, as well as a faculty. We just make best of not having a lot of faculty of color in the STEM fields on Penn State's campus. So we use that model. If they're able to see somebody that they're relatable to, whether that's a female, a gender, some different type of identities as a role model, that can really build their STEM identity and make it able for them to converge their STEM identity as well as their racial identity. And with being able to build those in a healthy way, helps students feel a sense of belonging. And that's one of the things that the research really talks about, is students in the STEM fields don't have that sense of belonging, and therefore they're not retained in those fields. And so when we're building that sense of belonging, we're building a sense of community with other STEM like-minded people, and building those different networks. These students are able to see themselves within those fields. They feel confident in their abilities to do STEM research. They feel confident in order to reach out for support when they need it, when they're facing microaggressions or anything that they may come when they're on a wide campus. And so when they're able to feel that support, we see in the research that they're able to build those research skills and be retained and stay within those fields. So some of the expectations in terms of working as a faculty mentor, again, looking at that research, also what those expectations for you, helping the students feel a sense of a role model and for underrepresented students, and also be able to facilitate a healthy STEM identity. We also want you to try to help them and foster a thriving relationship within in STEM, because we know from the research there's positive mentoring and there's also negative mentoring. So we want to make sure that we are being mindful of that and having them in a safe environment for them to at the least do no harm. We want to build a STEM community, build a network. If you know of any different things that they can apply to Penn State, you know, reach out to the students, build their confidence, and they continue to build their confidence and sense of belonging. We also ask you to ensure that the students are safe within the labs that they're working in and in the environment for all the team members that are working within your lab. Scaffold and oversee the research that they're doing. This could be the research that you're already working on. Just kind of oversee it, but also allow them to have some self-advocacy as they're working on those different projects. And this is only a one-year commitment. We hope that you will renew that commitment the next year, because you seem to kind of build those relationships over time, not just the first year, but over consecutive years. So we ask this year that you commit to 1 year, and you would meet with the students at least twice a month. And those other times, the undergraduate students will also be building relationships and meeting with them on a weekly basis. We also require, because we're working with minors, that we have to complete the compliance requirements and application. And I'll get a little bit more into that on the next slide.
So Dr. Rene just joined us. Welcome, Dr. Rene.
Thanks. Sorry, a little late.
No, it's okay.
So we do have, we require all faculty and undergraduate mentors are required by PSU to complete compliances before working with the minors. That is 3 of the background checks: the federal FBI background check, the Pennsylvania child abuse history background check, and the Pennsylvania State Police criminal background. So all 3 of those applications we need in prior to you starting and working with kids. We also, as you know, working at Penn State, have also another training online, building a safe Penn State, reporting child abuse, making sure that you know how to report in case an incident occurred. But all of those applications, we will walk you through those and help you. If you not understand how to fill them out, we are here to help you and give you the support that you need in order to complete those applications. And there is another training forthcoming. We'll talk a little bit about that later as well. So some of the basic stuff that I want to go over today, just to make sure that everybody's clear in terms of universal precautions when you're working with minors. We ask that you just follow all the Penn State guidelines when you're working with minors. And that means when you're working with them, you have at least 2 adults with you at all time. That shouldn't be problematic, because within that triad model, there is 2 adults working with that student. That also extends to any telephone conversations, any email, any online Zooms, whatever. You always have to have 2 people just for accountability purposes and things like that. Make sure that you have, in case of emergency, that you have their parents and guardians' contact information. That's critical in case something happens to one of the students. Making sure that that all adults are picking up the minors that are assigned to pick up the minors. Just make sure, I mean, these are teenagers, so they're pretty responsible, but we always have to practice our due diligence in terms of ensuring that they are going with the adults that they are supposed to, or the parent has signed off for them to just leave on their own. And typically that's kind of like what the case is, but just in case, we're just going over the universal precautions. If a minor is injured, please let us know, and they'll go through in more details about filling out an incident report. Again, another training will be coming up. So is there any questions so far? Am I losing anybody? Are you still here?
I got one question, Lorraine.
Mhm.
How does the undergraduate mentor then meet with the high school student, like at times apart from the faculty? Because that would be one-on-one then.
Well, that could be one-on-one. And what we've discovered is if we have several mentors meeting at some common space, that would be acceptable. If that would be two mentors with two mentees. So situations like that, they can work with those students in terms of like that for like, if they go on, to Starbucks on campus, just to kind of have chat, find out what's going on in the lives of the students. So something like that in those big common spaces would be appropriate, because that would be two people with another group of triad, or another group of mentors and mentees. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that part makes sense. What about like a Zoom between the undergraduate and the high school? If it's like a programming issue where the high school student just has some questions and they just need a little bit of feedback at just crazy times.
Right. So in a situation like that, we have people that are assigned to be in those spaces, those Zoom spaces. And so we would just be part of that Zoom session. Or you can have, if the undergraduate mentor is not available, then you could have, myself, Dr. Ryed, or any other person that has those clearances can be part of that session. Okay.
I have a question too, Lorraine.
Mhm.
So for the parents' names and phone numbers, will you all gather that info and pass it on to us, or do we need to ask the high school student?
So, I mean, we can actually do both. You're at some point, I hope, that at some point you're gonna meet the parents at some point. And there will be a session where you will be matched up with that student. And at that time, you kind of, there'll be a contract for you as well as the undergraduate and the high school student to sign. And a lot of times in those spaces, when they have those meetings, you kind of exchange contact information of the parents and any other information that you need.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Mhm. Anything else? Okay. Okay. Is there something else? Is there questions in the chat?
No, Dr. Greg is just
Okay.
giving some information.
Okay. Okay. So in terms of the academic year, so this is kind of like the academic year, tentative academic year that we have thus far, providing that we don't have a major pandemic. So in August and September is when we're doing the recruiting and having the meetings. September the 23rd is our application deadlines. September 30th is when we'll have a lightning talk. We'll be asking all of the faculty to come in and just share about their research, so the students can get an opportunity to learn about the research that they're doing and see if they're interested in working with that particular research. And then they'll have 1 to 3 choices to pick the type of research that they want to work on. So that's September 30th, October the 9th. Mentors and mentees get officially matched. We look at the applications. We look at the choices that they said that they first, second, third choice, and match them according to their essay, their interests, and things that we think that would be a good fit. some of the things we take in consideration. Again, we talk about identities. If there's a female that wants to work with, a girl wants to work with a woman, then that would be some of the things that we would consider. It doesn't necessarily it's not always possible to do that, but we try to take advantage of that as much as we can. January the 22nd, the research projects deadlines are due. The titles are due, so they know the name of the titles they're going to work on. The research projects are due April the 7th, and then May 8th is when we typically have the Penn State chapter symposium. And then we usually go to the national conference in DC for the final competition. So we'll keep you updated in terms of that, in terms of how we're gonna be able to reboot that. If this year, if we have it, it will be the first year since the pandemic. So we're still working out details about that. But that's pretty much of the schedule that we have. Mo is going to share some of the previous projects that students have worked on in the past.
Yeah, so, and then before I go there, if you have any question regarding this timeline, you can ask. If there is any clarification need, we can provide that as well.
Well,
yes,
all of the students who are involved in a program will participate in the symposium. It doesn't matter if you're at Penn State Harrisburg or Shenango, we intend to have those students come up, probably more than likely at the hub, but University Park for the symposium.
Yes, perfect. Yes, any other question or comments on the academic year plan?
Mohammed, one question.
Yes, sir.
So once the mentor and mentee are matched on October 9th, they start working together with the undergraduate student from there on out, right? Until the symposium in May. Is that the basic?
Yeah. Yes, sir. That's the thing.
And
So Dr. Nathaniel asked, how long do the background checks take? Will we finish in time? Yes, so that's the range. You can share your experience from years. Yes.
That is the question. That is the question of the hour, the million dollar question. So we've had different experiences in terms of the clearances come back. Some come back really quickly, have a really quick turnaround, and some take a little bit longer. So I encourage you to start to filling out the application process as soon as possible, and just continue to follow up. Again, if you want to stay afterwards, after this session, if you have time, we are more than willing to help you get started on that application online process and walk you through that. So it could take a little while.
Yeah, not only that, even anytime you can reach out to us for that purpose. So we will definitely, because that's a very important thing. We need the clearance to start the research project. So yes, we're here.
And typically it could take 3 to 6 weeks.
Yeah. So here are the some of our previous projects that our students and then the faculty participant did. You can see, the first one I see that it's a simulation of a suborbital rocket pre-flight pumping system using a Raspberry Pi. One of our student, Ty Todd, Jolpa Rajpayaguru, and Dr. James Todd was there. So Ty Todd, he got accepted in MIT. He just finished his first semester, right, Lorraine? Am I correct?
First year, yes.
First year, yeah. So, and then we have a volcanic system in Iceland. Alison, me, and Dr. Tanya did that projects. and that hurricane observations and the aftermath. We see that another one is assistive device for Huntington disease. So we have a little bit more to share. Photovoltaic energy conversion system. And there's another project done by Dr. Jang, Tabin Asif, and Dr. Khajai. And then we have WEF Nexus Discovery Dashboard Database. One of our students, Lily Ambel, was there. And then Dr. Rachel and Monica Vasquez was to mentor and student mentor and high school student. Dr. Greg ran projects called air pollution, analyzing data from cost-effective sensors. And Dr. Jose did effects of ozone on sense bees need to look at flowers. So we have like many other projects also like this. So these are some sample projects that we did before. Yeah, so these are Lorraine, you want to introduce some of these alumni to us?
And I want to stress that we have been fortunate enough to have some of the most gifted, motivated students that are just really, really impressive. And the schools that they have got accepted in is just, we have one that went to MIT, one at Yale, one at Cornell, as well as 2 students have went on to Penn State. We have more than 2 students at this point, but these are some of the students that have went on and did tremendous stuff within the time that they've been given, and the research made the best of the time. So I want to be clear that our students are very talented and gifted, and they are willing to work hard. And so I think it will be a great opportunity for them, as well as they have a lot to offer you as a faculty. And so if you have not already done so, we encourage you to go to the www.environmentors.psu.edu website, fill out your application and submit it, complete all 3 clearances application. And again, Dr. Rayed and myself are here. Please feel free to reach out to us if you need any help and with anything, or any further questions, concerns about anything. So yeah, I want to thank you for being here. We want to open it up for any other questions that people might have. And I also want to say back to what I was saying before in terms of the talent that we have within these students. The year 2018 or 2019, we still hold the title for first place in the national competition. And those are our 2 winners that won that year. So this is a great opportunity for you. Again, you will benefit from being part of it. And we hope that you will join our team, and we'll open it up for any other questions that you have.
Yes. So Dr. Greg, it would be great if you can run a question answer discussion, and then also want to relay any message that you want to tell us. So.
Okay. Well, I mean, this is the Q&A period. I might say that we've had some, there are questions about the slides. I assume Mo and Lorraine will share those with all of you, or create someplace on OneDrive maybe?
OneDrive and Google Drive, we can share, yeah, in multiple platforms.
So I was just saying that the program has evolved. Lorraine is actually working on her PhD, and she's evaluating the impact of the program on students, student efficacy, student success, and what elements of this program are providing the lift. The undergrads, when this was designed, we were thinking about underrepresented and underserved students that are often on campus and they feel lost. So them having a direct mentor helps to retain those students. And on the other side of it, kind of from service learning, they take pride in helping the high school students. So we've seen this on all the campuses, and it's a model to build on. That's not to say that there aren't issues. So the program started out as a volunteer, no pay, nothing. And we, again, had success with that. More recently, we have gotten funding from NSF, and also we have some internal funds to help support the undergrad and high school students. It's not much, but it's a small stipend. And we're building out a funding model. This is still in the works. But for example, if you have an NSF grant or other grant and you want to put money towards supporting a student, so the support we're given is about $1,500 a year for the undergrad and $500 for the high school students. Just things that they might need. For example, students are often stressed about books. So it's not really a lot of money, but it's really to help them as they, help others. So that's something that's in the works. But so if you do have anything like that, NSF usually allows you to write something, some small cost, and you could talk to Mohammed and he'll give you more about this component. The program has taken off. We have more than 100 undergrads. Mo can tell you this, more than 100 undergrads who've already applied to the program. We've never had that many before. And the high schools have not really opened up yet. So the applications to the high school students are going to be flowing out over the next week or two, which is why we don't start until, late September, early October. And finally, we had a teachers workshop this year, and we invited high school teachers to come to University Park so that they could get a sense of like some of the majors, and we focused on geopath disciplines. But, it was an eye-opening experience because many of the teachers don't have exposure or may not get that kind of exposure at a Penn State campus. So we're thinking about how do we continue to connect to communities. We are hoping to invite the parents to the campuses, like Penn State Harrisburg or Penn State U Park, just so that they get a sense of the space that we all work in. It's a great space to work in, but maybe their kids will be the ones who will eventually end up on those campuses. Anyway, Mo, I don't have anything else to say. And if anyone has questions, I'll take those too.
Yes. So yes, we are now open for any question that you have and anything that you want to share. We're here to clarify anything that you need to know.
Hi, this is Dasu here. Perhaps I may have missed it, but I guess I'm curious to know what's the process to select the high schoolers to be part of these programs, specifically if it's targeted to underrepresented population.
So what we have typically done and we've found the most success with is going to the high schools, building relationships with the school and finding someone within the school that is has been seen as an ally to help us reach our targeted population. And so we found that has been successful in terms of actually getting underrepresented students to participate in the program. We know from the research, right, there's not a lot of faculty of color in STEM fields. And so it just kind of perpetuates the same problem. And so we have to be intentional in terms of making sure that we are saying, hey, you're welcome, you belong in these fields, and reach out to them and targeting them specifically when we go into the high schools.
Okay, thank you.
Perfect. Any other question anyone has?
Do any of you have undergrad students who have either applied to the program or work in your labs, et cetera, or in your research, and you think they might want to be involved? Just open question.
I'll weigh in there. I don't have anyone in the lab right now. But it strikes me as maybe I should try to maybe recruit some students from the undergraduate course that might also be willing to be part of the program and then work with me as well. I don't know if that sounds like a better plan than trying to match everybody yet, but it seemed like an opportunity to maybe get some undergraduate researchers who could help out.
Yeah, that sounds good, I believe. Yeah, that is great, actually. Yeah.
And we've had that in the past in terms of faculty that have already worked with undergraduate or graduate students, and they want to continue on that work. So we encourage you, to bring those students as well. If that works, is a good fit for you.
Yeah.
But we do have a tremendous number of undergrads, I might say. And so, it's very possible that you will be able to have someone, and even if the student isn't getting paid, because we only have so much money, I'm still in favor of them working with a faculty member, just because, number one, you might need some help, but number two, it helps them in terms of feeling like their place of belonging, having a sense of belonging on campus, and also meeting faculty. I think that's a key part of all of this.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
We also have a challenge, which is like at Penn State Shenango. Is Kathy here? Kathy, how many faculty do you have at your campus?
Oh, we have a lot of, well, quite a few faculty, but not in STEM. We have a single engineering faculty. I'm the only chemistry faculty. We're down to 2 biology faculty. So I think what Greg is alluding to is the idea is we could have a student who's in the area around Shenango, but yet is doing a virtual project or hybrid project where that undergraduate is actually at University Park. And so maybe they're working, like I saw, I think it was Nathaniel was doing microplastic. So maybe he and I work together with a student at University Park and then with a student at Shenango. So we're looking at all different models because we want any student who wants to be involved to be afforded that opportunity.
Yeah, that kind of flexibility is important. And we know we don't, so much resource is put in University Park that, quite often students from Commonwealth campuses might not get any exposure to research. We got to figure this out, but I feel like you're the link to all of it, in terms of us being able to distribute ourselves on different campuses, or even teaming up with other researchers on other campuses to do a project. Even if, there are not a lot of faculty there, they may be in an area where high school students are, a significant number of low income, first generation or underrepresented students are. Those students, there's not enough to go around in terms of faculty, but I feel like with a flexible model, we could provide assistance in those cases.
Yeah. So Dr. Eugene wanted to say something, and then Dr. Martin, we're going to come to you. Yeah, Dr. Eugene, you wanted to say something, I believe.
Well, I was just going to say, in atmospheric sciences, like the project I would have, it's just programming skills. So I would very much want to support an undergraduate in any other department at University Park or anywhere else who has those skill sets, who just wants to contribute. I think that to me would be, because if they have the energy where they applied and they went through the process, supporting that kind of student, I kind of prefer that to trying to find someone I've worked with in the past who hasn't gone through the effort of applying to the program. So it's really not a match on the major necessarily, but a match on the skill sets. If we can, figure that one out.
Perfect. Yeah, Dr. Martin.
Yes, I'm teaching the freshman seminar this year for my department, and I'm wondering if there's a preference in terms of how advanced in their academic path the undergraduate students need to be, if it's adequate for students in their first year, or is there a preference for them to be, on their third or fourth year?
Mhm. It depends on who you talk to. And Dr. Jenkins would say first year.
I would say get them early. There's nothing wrong. There's no need to wait until they're seniors. Those students, they got it. They got the stuff, a lot of them.
I mean, I guess it depends on the student too. Some students are mature and they able to manage, to already have those time management skills. Some students need a little bit more time, maybe second year, where they have mastered their schedules and mastered, how their rhythm on campus. So yeah, I'm a proponent of second year, but Greg is first year. So I think, it all depends on the student.
Yeah. So Dr. Brandon has a question like, is the program open to homeschool high school students? So Dr. Greg, and if you want to answer that.
I was just typing that I don't see why not. If they live in the State College area or Harrisburg or Shenango, we never put any restrictions out there like that, except to say they should be STEM students or interested in STEM. That we can talk, we'll meet up afterwards, but I really don't see why we would restrict.
Yeah. We are actually already have reached out to homeschoolers, as well as one of the other things that we did this year was moving beyond State College School District. We actually expanded it to Bellefonte School District, as well as the Young Scholar School, the private school Grace Prep, as well as reaching out. There is a contact that we have that that was giving us information on homeschoolers. So we're certainly open to that. They're definitely a part of the school district. And so that would be access to those things as well with our program. Sorry about that.
Yeah, so yeah, is there any other question, or like anybody want to add anything else? So, okay, so if we believe that we almost cover everything for today, so the next most important thing, actually one of the most important thing, is to now get the clearance, I believe. So as I mentioned earlier, you can anytime email me and Lorraine. We're gonna be always there to help you navigate through that clearance thing. And anything else, I'm always there to answer the questions. And then also we'll keep you updated about the progression of the program and any other funding opportunity that you are aware of. Please let us know, as we are planning to expand the program and get more and more students. And also the ultimate goal is to have this program in each and every campus of Penn State. So we're expecting at some point to have like around 200 or more than that student, under this program. So we have to diversify our funding sources. So anything that you want to partner with, anything, we're here. We're open to that, and we can work together about that. Yeah. So, so before we finish, Dr. Kathy, Mitch, Dr. Greg, Lorraine, if you want to say anything, that would be great.
Sure, I'll say something. I'll go first. Again, thank you all for joining us on this Friday before Labor Day holiday. Again, your presence here is more than we can expect, and we hope that again, for a very successful year, if you could please tell your colleagues, your undergraduate students as well, and we'll do our part on trying to recruit. If you have ideas on recruiting additional high school students, please let us know. But yeah, please inform your colleagues, let them know about the program, and see if you can help recruit some more mentees as well. So thank you again for your time.
Thank you, Mitch. Dr. Kathy.
Mitch did a great job. So thank you all, as he said, for being here. And I look forward to all of you potentially welcoming students that are from the Shenango area. We're servicing the Farrell Area School District, the Newcastle School District, and the Sharon School District that all meet the demographics of this program. And very excited to have students involved in the program this year.
Thank you, Dr. Kathy. Dr. Greg, you want to say something before we go?
I just want to say thanks that, the program success has been around the willingness of the faculty to really participate. And whenever you have issues that come up, Mohammed, Lorraine, our team, we meet every week. We'll do whatever we can to help you through the process. We don't want it to be too much of a heavy lift on you. So whatever we can do to assist you, you can count on that.
Thank you so
Absolutely.
Yeah, Lorraine, anything you want to say?
Yeah, absolutely. If you need support, if you have any questions, if you don't be afraid. If you haven't had the experience of working with underrepresented students and you have questions and need a little bit of just guidance, please don't hesitate to reach out. Everybody has new experiences. So we are here just to support you supporting us. So thank you so much.
Yeah. And yes, again, thank you so much, everyone, for joining. As I mentioned earlier, we're really trying our best to make it as a university-wide program and kind of like a permanent entity of Institute of Energy and Environment. So we have a long-term goal with this program. So we're gonna really make it one of the best research-oriented student program in here. So and I think we're gonna achieve that for sure. So thank you so much, everyone.
I just want to mention one more thing. We do have trainings for anybody that needs additional trainings throughout the year, and so you know that you're not just out there by yourself. So we do have trainings and support and models, and so just reach out and we'll let you know about them.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Yeah,
Bye.
have a great time there. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.